Good evening, everyone, and welcome to your latest edition of the Agile PMP. CJ Mills here with your not Wednesday workshop, not Friday follow-up, but we don't have anything for Thursday, but it doesn't matter because we're back. It's been a while. We normally do these about 3 times a week, and it's been about a week since you guys have heard from us. So here we go. Since you've heard from me. And I want to talk today about the Tuckman ladder. The Tuckman ladder, 5 stages of team building. Forming, storming, norming, performing, adjourning. So this is what happens when your teams come together. I don't want to talk to you guys about this today. So once again, Tuckman ladder. You guys can look her up. Tuckman's still chugging along. She just gave a speech earlier this year at Harvard or Yale, one of the Ivy League schools. And she frequents around to other colleges and different campuses, and she gives discussions about how we come together as people and how we sort of go through these 5 stages of getting together and coming together, the forming stage. And then when everybody is sort of like jockeying for position, and when the sort of the infighting happens, the storming stage. And then when things, sort of begin to become, constant or regular, the norming. And then if you guys can get to the performing stage, which is where, you might have some folks out, but the team still carries on. And then when the team leaves and they adjourn. So let's jump in. Forming, storming, norming, performing, adjourning. So forming stage. For most projects, this is the kickoff. And if you guys are the project managers or out in the field, this is the kickoff. Everybody comes together. We have a meeting. Yay! Project is happening. Everybody is so happy. That's usually when they're happy, right? In the very beginning or the very end. But the forming stage, everybody's happy. They're on a project. Contractors are on. They're getting paid. Folks that are working for the organization, they're saying, yeah, we got a new project that's going to help us out. In your lives, this may be you're doing new landscaping in the backyard, or you're remodeling your kitchen, you're remodeling your bathroom, something like that. You're turning your garage into a gym. You're installing a new TV and you're mounting it to the wall. Could be one of those things, but choosing the very beginning. Everybody's like, yes, this is great. We know what we're going to do. We're going to get something good. And then the storming happens. This is when people say, if you're mounting that TV on a wall, I don't know. Did you use a stud finder? Are you going to level it? If you're doing the backyard, do we have the right materials? Should we use mulch? Should we use shredded redwood? Are we going to use rocks? What are we going to put? Or, people start saying, well, you should do it this way. You should do it that way. No, I don't think this is right. You can't do it this way. Then the storming happens. Everybody's opinions, start to come out. People want to be heard. People feel like, their way is the best way, and they don't want to listen to others, or they're not willing to collaborate, folks. They just want to sort of force things and storm on in. So the storming, hence the name. All right, so that's the storming phase. So we have the forming, kickoff, everybody's happy, yay. And then we have the storming, people jockeying for position. This is how it's going to go down. They're trying to, get their priorities pushed to the top. Then the norming happens. All right, after the dust settles, everybody who's always going to be late, you figure that out. Who's always going to be early, who stays late, who leaves early, whose work is really good, crisp, whose work isn't, who's a negative Nelly and who's an eternal optimist. You start to figure this out and things become normal. You have meetings or you have work sessions and you hear people make statements, oh, it's never going to work and this and that. And you just start to let it go through one ear and out the other. You don't deal with the negativity. Or you hear the people, you're amazing. This is awesome. I love working with you guys. You got those people, right? But everything is always good and fine and dandy. You start to realize, okay, that's just their normal behavior, their normal pattern of behavior, and you just sort of let it go. So that's the norming phase. This, for most companies, happens naturally. If you're starting out a business, understand that if you intend to be beyond that 95% of businesses that fail in the first 3 years, or 97% that fail in the first 5 years, you expect to make it past that, just know that your company, in order to make it past that, will have to get to sort of the norming stage. That just happens. It happens by itself. To get to performing takes work. To get the idea of performing is, you can have a couple of your team members not show up. Let's just throw a round number out there. You have 10 team members, right? Everybody's doing 10% of the work. And 3 are gone. All of a sudden, your team's capacity might drop to 70%. Well, if you're a team in the performing stage, you don't drop down to 70%. You might operate at 75 or even 80%. Just because 2 team members are down doesn't mean that the whole capacity goes down. All right, and so in order to get to the performing stage, you got to cross-train team members. You got to make sure knowledge transfer is taking place, that people understand other people's activities and their jobs and their roles. They know where they fit and what their slice of the pie is, and everybody else's slice. and if need be, they can handle and pick up the work in that side. That's the whole idea of getting to the performing stage. So if you're in a corporation, cross-train your team members. Make sure that everybody knows what their objectives are, and not just theirs, but the person sitting next to them. Know what those objectives are and how your piece is a dependency or fits into that, and how you can, maybe help or sort of pick up the slack. When you do that, you know your team is going to be in the performing stage. If you're at home, then that's more so you knowing the people that you're working with, whether it's family members, usually a husband, a wife, a brother, or sister, or some friends that are coming to help you out. Everybody sort of knows, you're going to have the wrong tools or you're going to have the right tools. You're going to do things sloppy or you're not. You're one of those people that's quick on time. You always have a schedule, or nope, you're sort of lax and laissez-faire about things. All right. So if you are at the performing stage, everybody should know people's working styles. They should know people's personalities, and then they should know their role and everybody else's role and how it fits. Therefore, they'll be able to pick up some of the slack, if necessary, when the time comes. So that's how you get to the performing stage. And then when the project's done and everybody leaves, that's the adjourning stage. I mean, it's natural, right? Adjourning, people leave, and they get up, they go. Maybe you have a little lessons learned meeting or a retrospective, postpartum or postmortem. There's all kinds of companies use. Well, I guess not post. That's supposed to be something with kids, but you get the idea. It's the idea that at the end we're going to perform some review that says this is what we were supposed to do. We did this. Can we explain the gap? And moving forward, how can we do things better? How can we make it so that next time we won't run into the same issues, or we'll be a little bit more efficient and more effective, right? So that's what you should do at the adjourning stage. So that way, when it's time for you to do this again, and you have a new team that forms, and then the storming happens, well, at least you have some best practices. And then the norming is already there. Your best practices are built into the norming stage. When you reach the performing stage, you'll probably do even better than you did last time. So that's it. Share this video with somebody. Share this video with somebody who has a project going on in their lives. Maybe they want to start a business. Maybe they want to update some part of their home, remodel the kitchen, bathroom, do a backyard, landscaping, redo, something like that. Or share this with somebody who's involved in their professional lives with some changes happening at their company. Somebody who's constantly working with multiple people. That way they can know these are the 5 stages of team development, and they can identify where they're at and sort of figure out how they can interject themselves to sort of facilitate that process and make things work a little bit smoother, a little bit better. Everybody's going to be happy for it. So, as always, create solutions, adapt processes, think strategically. You guys have a good one.